On today's Code Bet Daily, it is a massive blow-it-out special. It's the AFL team win over-unders. What are we looking at, stats guy?
I'm still a bit worried about my team North, but I'm big on Brisbane this year.
I like it. Alex, what are you looking at?
Also big on Brisbane, but North Melbourne won't suck as bad.
I like it. We've got 3 locks each. Every single one of the 18 AFL teams and their win over-unders predicted, broken down, spoken about. It's all on today's show. Code Bet Daily. Give it a smash. All right, welcome to Code Bet Daily. Footy's back. That's right.
back.
Wednesday, March 8, all day. This is episode 66. This is an absolute bumper episode
Huge.
of Code Bet Daily. It's only AFL. It's over-unders. It's going to be awesome.
I did
I'm
some
stoked.
work.
Yeah, Alex has done the first
Alex
work he's
is-
done literally in 6 months. It's like, I've
got
never
this
seen
done.
anyone more excited. He's just
Yeah.
like, he's up in a bed. He's like, yeah, footy.
And we've still got 8 days till it starts.
I know.
Oh, footy!
Right, I'm your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website we call codebet.com.au because that's its name. I'm joined, as always, by the Pontiffs of Punting. Over there is your Sydney Swans representative, Alex Donnelly.
Yeah, just keeping it nice and even here. We got 2 Melbourne teams and a traditionalist South Melbourne Sydney Swans. Thank you.
Nice.
Dig it, and North Melbourne over there is Stats Guy.
I'm still happy because the season hasn't started, so I'll be
You
wearing
don't
this.
suck yet.
Yeah, we don't suck yet, so I could say we're going to win a lot. But I can say that now, but we probably won't.
The
So-
crushing disappointment hasn't hit yet.
Yeah,
No, it hasn't.
exactly.
So I'm happy still.
I mean,
In
we'll
11
get to it
days'
later.
time,
Yeah.
there we go. That's when it
The
begins.
scary thing is they have a chance of winning their first game.
This is it. We're going to get into that, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So this is Code AFL Daily apparently today because it's only
It is.
wins
With
over-unders
some bets.
for every single AFL team
Yep.
for this season.
Not wrong.
How many wins are the teams going to have over-under? We've got numbers for each of them. It's going to pop up behind us if you're watching the video because the AFL season kicks off next Thursday.
Can't wait.
My
So
beloved
excited.
Blues
Yes.
taking on the Tigers. That should be all right. But this is it. We're going to talk about their draw. We're going to talk about, I don't know, some of the little bits and bobs about each team. We're going to fly through it. We have ourselves a timer in the background as well.
And a
I'm
dinger.
a bit nervous. I mean, it could explode or something.
We've got the timer and the ding. Leo, give us a ding quick. There you go.
Yeah.
Ding. So by the end of the show as well, we should all have a rough sort of ladder
Yeah.
Yes.
as well. So we've all got our own ladders. So I think at the end of the season, there's going to be some sort of competition to who came a bit of a closest to the pin
I like
with
it.
all the over-unders as well. It may involve shouting a bunch of beers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just
we all
saying.
like this.
So let's get into it. Stats guy, North Melbourne. How are you feeling?
Yeah, a bit worried. I think we're going to improve. I think we got Alistair Clarkson and a few new recruits like Griffin Logue and things like that. I think we're going to improve and get more than
Boring.
2 wins. But we're
Alex-
we're going to be bad.
Yeah, North Melbourne are going to stink. I just hope the Swans...
Talk about Swans, you idiot.
Oh, the Swans. Yeah, well, it's impossible to be worse than what we were on grand final day, so let's hope for a bit better.
Well, is it?
Yeah, I know. We got to make the grand final again, but I'm hoping for a similar top 4 finish.
Nice.
Right.
What
As
about
a
the Blues?
And Carlton.
Yeah,
long-suffering
gutted.
Carlton supporter, I mean, this is it. Anything is
This
good for
is
us
it.
this
You,
year.
you had
As
a
long as-
Brownlow medalist and a Coleman medalist and still didn't make finals.
Didn't say anything. You knew we'd make
back-to-back
finals, I think.
Coleman medalists, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Well, you still didn't make finals.
Yeah, tough scenes. Tough scenes there in Carlton. Right, let us get into it. This is all 18 teams. The over-unders, courtesy of Ladbrokes. They're the ones with the actual, they've had these out for a little while, so we're going to go off those over-under numbers. Let's start it. The Adelaide Crows. Oh, geez. 8-14 last year. The over-under this year, 9.5 wins. That's
About right.
Yeah.
about right, isn't it?
Probably.
Feels pretty good. So
Also, remember, this year we do have an extra game, 23 games instead
Yes.
of 22. So
It might get
Exactly.
a bit confusing with last year and this year. Yeah.
all right, so who wrote about Adelaide?
I did actually.
All right, talk us through it.
Yeah, I'm really heavy on the under. So a lot of people think Adelaide might improve. I think they've got a lot of older guys that are almost on the way out. You got Rory Sloane, Brodie Smith, who are getting a bit slower in their midfield. You still got Tex, who I really love, and I think he can lead their goals.
Tex.
But
Tex is also older than like Methuselah.
he's old. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
old, but he's still killing it. They're going to rely on him too much, I think. They also had a look at their stats. Have only won 33% of their home games in the last 3 years. So if you want to,
Let's also remember
Get some
they
easy wins.
lost like 16 in a row in the
Yeah,
COVID year. So
but if you want to, get some easy wins as Brisbane, Geelong, and a few
Whoa,
other
that's
teams.
the
goes the
footy.
footy.
Got a footy gone. But if you want to have a good season, I think you got to be able to just win some easy games at home, and they can't do that, I don't think, again this year. So
There you go.
I'm back in the under for them.
All right, what do we got? We've got our paddles.
Yep.
Decision?
yeah.
Under.
What number
I
are we
think-
going with though, so we can get a bit
So-
of an accurate?
My vibe on Adelaide, I've got them at 7-16 this season.
Ooh.
So that's my under.
Yeah, I've got 8-15, which is pretty close to that.
Alex?
9-14.
Also just under.
So
yeah.
just under.
Just a tick under.
Okay.
So yeah, the odds of that, the under is $1.95. The overs are slightly favoured. And also, because we didn't mention it, we have 3 locks that we think will absolutely happen this season. 3 different ones each. We may end up on the same teams, but our 3
we haven't actually
individual
collated that. So we might just have the same 3 locks.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find out. But there you go, $1.80 for the over, $1.95 for the under. I'm going hard on the under. We're all going under.
Yeah, I'm sneaking under.
Nice one. Cool. Next team, the
Brisbane
Lions, if you're American. Where are you from? Brisbane?
Yeah, there's no Y in there.
I like it. All right, Brisbane absolutely crushed it last year, made the prelims.
Yep.
Won a final in Melbourne.
Finally, yeah.
After, getting rid of that MCG hoodoo to a degree. Looked good too.
Yeah.
And
They're stronger.
They look stronger, yeah.
Brought in Dunkley.
Gunston.
They've got Stats Guy's mate, Chucky Cameron. It's going to be nuts.
Most importantly, Will Ashcroft, number 1 draft pick,
he looks
who
amazing,
looks set to play in the midfield from round 1.
And their midfield's already stacked, which is unbelievable. He's going to get some good game time in there.
You've got Lockie Neal. You've got just basically a stacked team, I think, in Brisbane. This is going to be, in terms of over-unders, I absolutely adore this team. 19-4 is where I landed on this team.
19, okay.
I have them going top 2, I think, in my overall ladder. I'm just saying.
You also look with some of their double ups this year as well, with the way that it works out. They play the Suns and St Kilda twice. You think that there's 4 wins straight away, and what they've lost at the Gabba 5 times in the last 3 years.
Fortress,
and I think it was to Sydney, Melbourne, and Geelong. So 3 pretty handy teams to lose to.
Yeah, I think I did the write-up for this one. I'm backing them to get at least 10, 11 wins at home. So you've already got that. Then they just have to get 4 more wins away, which they're a classy team. They're going to get some bad teams away as well. So they'll easily cover that.
So the over and under is 14.5.
14.5.
$1.88.
I think that's
each.
the lock.
So
is this your first lock, Stats Guy?
This is actually my first.
It's my first lock as well. Yeah. $1.88. I really,
Yep. All right.
I love that.
So right,
paddles up.
I
Over.
think we know
Over. We're all overs.
Absolutely.
Over 14.5 for Brisbane. Simple as that.
So you're 19 and
19.
I'm going massive. I think because
19-4.
19-4 I had for Brisbane. So basically that entire idea is very simple. Fortress Gabba.
Yep.
They're absolutely
They could not
just,
lose there. Yeah.
They could easily just run that.
They
slate.
do play Sydney, Melbourne, and Geelong at the Gabba this year.
I think it's fine.
You think
to be honest, I
they
think
probably
could,
drop one of them?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But still,
Maybe.
I think
Melbourne
awesome.
did handle them by 10 goals late last year there, though. Like,
This is true.
absolutely
That was weird.
Threw them out
Brisbane
of the Gabba.
looked better than last year.
I think they're just a better.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they're awesome.
I'm
I'm
saying
excited.
they're 18-5.
I'm going.
I like that you just sort of crap talked and it's like, oh, well,
I said no, but I said they're going to
anyway.
lose. I said they'll lose one of those home games.
I'm going. What am I going? 17-6. I
Nice.
think just under, but
Yeah, but well over the 14.
just that home fortress, as you said. I think it's too good to
Smash
smash up
that
their
over.
overs.
Yeah.
Well, I think, when you've got Joe Danaher out there cutting a rug
Jack Gunston will kick straight.
and you've got the big hippie, Eric Hipwood.
Yeah,
Like,
they've got a
think
great
it's
forward
just-
line. Yeah.
and he
Harris
got-
Andrews in defence.
And
got
he did hit
stacked.
form late in the year, Hipwood too. Like he was a gun in that semi-final.
Awesome
that
in
they
the
won.
finals.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Brisbane over for everybody. Carlton, my beloved Blues. Oh, horrible. 9th, 12 and 10 last year.
You want to talk about it?
Geez, how did they get to 12 and 10, Jim? Well, they crapped down their legs.
They
then
lost
all
to
over
Adelaide in
themselves.
Adelaide.
Yeah,
and
they
then
did
started
lose to
slinging it around everywhere. As soon as we lost to Adelaide, it was like, pack her up, boys. We are done. The over-under for this year is 13.5. So it's only 1.5 extra up on last year.
Extra game.
Extra game as well. You feel pretty good about it. Look, this is a weird team at the moment where you bring in some pretty big guns last year, but we have some injuries again this year. Zach Williams just doesn't want to play because he keeps getting hurt.
Sam Walsh's back is just stuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, from carrying this team
Carrying
for a
the
couple
team
of years.
After Cripper's shoulders gave in.
And this is it. We've got a couple of guns in the midfield, a couple of guns up forward, a couple of guns at the back. It's just on the wings and sort of the connective tissue for this Carlton team that I seem
Just
to
less
sort of
depth.
just...
Yeah.
But
You
Blake Acres came in to play on the wing.
This is exactly the reason why I'm going the over for Carlton
Yes.
this year, because they do have a couple of extra dudes this year that I trust just that little bit more than I have in the past. It's like the fact that we relied on so much on Will Setterfield at times in the past, you're like, that's not anything you really want to rely on.
And 13,
With all love to Will. You're not that
He's
guy,
not
my
consistent.
guy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But there's
Anyway.
also 13 games against the other bottom 9 teams from last year as well.
It's kind of like the saving grace of finishing 9th meant that the
Draw's not as hard.
schedule wasn't as
Yes.
tough. So
yeah.
you got the two bigs up the top. You got Harry. You've got Charlie.
Yeah, that's
You've got
unstoppable.
enough sort of like goal kicking mids. You just sort of hope so they're not carrying the entire thing.
Yep.
I'm going the over. It's going over because I think we're going to go.
I'm going over, yeah.
I mean, the 12 and 10 last year. I think we go 15 and 8 this year.
15 and 8.
What do you reckon?
I'm going under.
Oh,
but I've got 13 and 10.
Tough.
So I'm going under by half a game. But there's just
so they still could make finals with.
They could still. I've got them 8th. I think
Okay.
7th or 8th on my ladder. I have to check my page
Yep.
here. But there's just. I don't know what it is about Carlton. There's just something there that I'm just like, I'm not supremely convinced by them. Like, when they get in front and get a lead, they are David Warner. Fantastic downhill skis. When there's some pressure.
Or contraire,
yeah.
when they get right up, they then just put it in park.
Yeah, and get run down.
Yeah, and then they get run down. I don't think they'll do that.
5 times last season.
I don't think they'll do that this year. I think they've learned from their mistakes. I think I said that in my preview. I think so. I'm going the over as well.
Good stuff.
What am I think? I'm thinking.
I think that's it. I
14
think this
and
is the
9,
second year under Voss. They know the game plan a little bit better. Off they go.
I agree,
They pull out some of those wins that they just absolutely blew last year and sneak some of them out. They snuck out a couple of wins last year as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're off to an absolute flyer. Here we are now. I think they go over.
Yeah. Agreed.
The over's $2. The under, $1.77.
Yeah.
I'm going that over. 13 and a half. What did I say? 15. Boom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Collingwood.
Oh, I don't want to chant that.
Collingwood. The Magpies, 16
This
6
is the
last year.
Carlton fan just giving them junk after they, ruined their final series
This
last
is an
year.
amazing over-under, though, for a team that won 16
I
games
know.
last year.
Yeah.
The over.
There's reasons. Yeah.
12 and a half.
Yeah.
12 and a half.
That's because they was like, you can't keep winning close games of football.
They can't this year.
I mean, they found
They
ways
won
to
a
win.
record amount of games under 12 points last season. They
What
won
was it?
11 games under 12 points.
ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. So I don't think they can do that
And
again.
an extra 30 seconds, they would have won the 12th in the prelim.
Yeah, not wrong.
This is true. Speaking of being run down.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they get tired
I'll
sometimes.
tell you what, though, that game, the contrasting halves of football was ridiculous. But yeah.
Sydney, smash him. Collingwood, smash him. It's just like, combine that. That's a game.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a game.
That was great. Yeah.
In terms of Collingwood, though, I mean, this is it. The law of averages usually dictates you can't win that many close games again.
Happened to Port Adelaide last year.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this is kind of the tough part for them. They've got a rough draw because obviously, they finished top 4?
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
They
So
were 4th.
it's going to be a pretty gnarly year, I think, for the Pies. How are we feeling? We got Tommy Mitchell in there now.
Well, they last year they were winning games without winning clearances. So even if they still make it close, I think they can win a lot more clearances with
It
Tom
pretty
Mitchell.
much just means Mitchell's on the bottom of a pack, handball to DeGoey
Yeah.
and Dacos.
It will
and
help
then
them so much,
Straight down the forward line, and there's D McStay out of the goal square.
rather than hacking it out the
6 of
midfield.
him.
Yeah, rather than hacking out the midfield, he's got great hands. All he does is handball.
Or having, taking an intercept mark and then just going, whoa, the other end of the field. It's like, oh no, they're actually going to have a legitimate structure this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm a bit worried about Collingwood because I think they're going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Okay.
Because I'm going over.
Over.
I'm going over
the
as well,
12 and a
but
half.
just.
I've
How
got
many
them.
wins have you got?
I've got what have I got? 13.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be 8th on the dot with 13.
I've got them 15 and 8, same as
Oh,
Carlton.
okay.
I've got 14 or 15 wins. There's a couple, 2 games against Carlton, there's games
I think
against
they'll
Richmond and
split
Geelong.
those, yeah.
Splitting them. I'm just like, you can. I've got them well over, but 14 or 15, I'm not sure where I'm going to land yet.
Nice one. Good job. All right, there you go, Collingwood. Some vibes, I think, there for a bit of confidence. if you're a
They're
Pies
fun
fan.
to watch, but I hate that it's Collingwood.
Yeah, same.
It's like
If it
England.
was-
everyone
It's
does.
like
If it was
England in the
England
cricket.
in the cricket. yeah.
Literally any other team, you'd be like, this team is the most fun one in the comp. You're like, but it's like, oh, it's Collingwood.
It's kind of,
Yeah.
Their fans
Also,
annoy you.
don't forget they've brought in
Ew.
Bobby Hill, who's really silky user of the football. He did miss last year
Yeah.
as well from the Giants.
I don't
but
mind that.
He's a very good
McStay
in
as
as well.
well.
Yeah,
McStay.
we talked about him.
They are just like that weird team, though, right? Where they're tougher than you think. And they're a bit more resilient than you think
Oh,
at
yeah,
times.
they-
And
last
you're
year
But
like,
it's also the whole, we don't know what we're doing, but we're mashing buttons
working.
on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Let's go.
all right, Essendon.
I hate
jeez.
Essendon.
Last year, 7-15,
Yep.
gross year, horrible. They bring in a new coach,
The over-under of 10.5.
the other Scott. So explain to me how this team is 4 wins better than last year.
I
They don't-
can't. I literally can't.
I
That's
can't as
the
well,
thing
yeah.
I was like, I've written down here. Where do they find their 4 wins from? Their defense sucks.
Yep.
They had a lot of close losses. I was having a look. So if you have a few of those close wins, I'm still just under, but I think
Yeah.
they can get at least 2 or 3 more wins this
They
year.
they
I
snuck
think,
a win
because-
against the Swans last year when the Swans were playing awful in that middle part of the
Yeah.
year. So you take sort of that one out and you're like, okay, they've got to find 5 wins.
You got your
compared to last
stars,
year.
I think, in each end of the group. You got Peter Wright, who was up there in the Coleman. I think he could-
Peter.
I love him. And then you've got a great midfield in Merritt and Parrish as well. So it's not like
Great.
they're- A very, very, very solid
Handy?
midfield.
Yeah, I'd say handy. I wouldn't say
I think
great.
they can beat a lot of midfields in the AFL is what I'm trying to say. But they don't have the depth at all.
Their defense stinks.
Yeah, and their defense is average.
The depth thing is a problem for me as well. Like, I remember looking at this list and then looking at like something like West Coast.
Yeah.
And you go, it's the same thing, right? Where you have like
Very
a
similar,
specific amount of veterans who are very clearly pretty good.
Decent.
And then you just lack that sort of next level of dudes who are just there, who are really like just solid, and they just don't have it. So,
like they're 16th for points conceded last year. Like I don't see them turning it around.
10 and a
10 and a
half?
half wins. Absolutely not.
under.
I'm going under just though.
Way under.
I've got it actually at 9.
They got an easy
I think
fixture.
this is it. The fixture's pretty easy.
very
I think.
easy.
So I think.
Did you see how they played in that practice match?
It's a practice match. We take
you
nothing
don't
from
like
practice
practice
matches.
Yeah, I know, but if you stink that bad in a practice match, I'm going to pay attention.
Fair enough.
I've got them 9 and 14. I think they're a little bit better than last year. I think they just have a little bit more coherency probably about them with the new coach under Brad Scott. As they try to figure it out, I think they get better at times throughout the season, and they just look inconsistent.
Yes, they could,
but have
get some
flashes.
upsets. That's what I reckon.
Get you to 9 wins.
Yeah, I'm going to go 10 wins. Just I think they've got a very easy fixture. They can beat a lot of teams at home that are like lower on the ladder, I think. And yeah, so I'm going 10 wins, but still under the 10.5.
Every game of the G though, like, do they win? Which ones do they win?
Well, it says
Hawthorn?
their home record last year was 5-11.
Yeah,
away they were 2-9, but that doesn't account into what away games are at the MCG.
Yeah,
as well.
I think they beat Hawthorn, yeah. The G.
But other games of the G, like, what do they win?
No, they won't, because the games of the G
They
are
beat
all
the
big
Swans at
teams,
the G last year.
They played Geelong at the G and Collingwood. I don't think they can win those. So
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
In the Ds, yeah. I think, I've got them 6 or 7 wins in like 14th or 15th.
Tough.
Yep.
Right.
Tough year ahead for the Bombers. Freo.
Way to go.
I love Freo.
Hands on.
Heave up that over under. It is 12.5.
How do they go backwards?
15-6
I know.
last year.
With
They
an
were
extra
awesome.
game, how do they lose another 3?
I agree. It's because everyone's thinking that like Port and a few others are going to improve, but it's still a ridiculous.
So
line.
It's ridiculous.
Here's my take on Freo. They don't go backwards. Everyone's like, oh, you lost Rory Lobb. He kicked 36 goals. It's not like you're losing a 50 or 60 goal kicker.
Nah,
you're going to have Nat Fyfe playing forward all
Tabernar
year
is back.
if his body holds up. If Nat Fyfe's body holds up for 16 games of football, he'll kick 40 goals. So no dramas whatsoever there.
Well, there's an over under.
You've bought in, Stat's going to have a bet on this. You've bought in Jaeger O'Meara as well, who, coming in, he's going to be fantastic for that midfield as well.
Love some Jaeger
You've
bombs.
also got, I love Jaeger bombs. You've also got
Alex definitely looks like a dude who loves Jaeger bombs.
I think he has one
Like,
before he comes in every day.
You see him in the bar and go, oh, he's doing Jaeger bombs.
No, it's usually
God.
a fireball shot. But also,
even worse.
Luke Jackson's come in. But then you also look at Brodie, Darcy, and Brayshaw. If they were in Melbourne, everyone would be like, oh my God, this is the best midfield of the
no, you're not
competition.
wrong.
They're over in Perth and no one cares because, no one pays attention to Perth in all due respect.
So 12.5. This is $1.87 for both the over and the under. Actually, same with Essendon to put a bow on that. That was $1.88 for both the over and the under.
Yep.
So we've all gone the under with that one. Freo, I've got to go the over because, look, 12.5 is just too low. I've got them 13 and 10.
That's
They
what
just sneak over
that's
because
what I've
I
got,
think it's a bit tougher this year because I think that top 8 gets a lot more squished.
They've got a
Freo's
tougher
the one.
fixture. But at home, they're
Look
also
at their
off the
first 6
stadium.
rounds, though. They can legitimately be 6-0.
That's what I wrote in my article.
And
5-0,
how are
yeah.
they not going to win another 6 games or 7 games for the rest of the season?
Yep.
Like, seriously.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
exactly
that's
what
it.
I
That's why
would-
I've gone the over. I think it does get a bit tougher, though, when you then ask them to come to Melbourne, especially later in the year, and try to beat some of the better teams.
Yeah, I think they'll be a bit overhyped at the start. So, like you said, we're 5-0, 6-0. So they could be first for a while, and then the second half, I think they versed Geelong.
I'm happy
a few
to back
times
them to be on top of the ladder after 6 rounds.
Yeah, I think that's a good
And
bet.
I think, this is a lock. Absolute lock over.
I'm going the over.
I'm
Just
going, just as well. I'm going one.
I've
win
got
over.
them winning 15, 16 games this year.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
Absolute lock.
Yeah, I've got 13.
All right, I got 13 too.
Nice.
Good stuff. Freo, heave ho. Geelong, the reigning premiers.
Oh, I'm sick of Geelong. I know they're really-
Unbelievable. The over-under here is 15.5. How did they get worse?
Is it 15?
They went 18 and 4 last year.
And they also bought in, more players as well.
18 and 4 is quite
Ridiculous.
rare, though. Yeah, so
Like Jack Bowes, Tanner Barun, and Ollie Henry come in. Joel Selwood leaves. The Tomahawk is injured. What have been a constant
he
at
might be
Geelong?
playing
What has
that
been
one,
a
apparently.
constant at Geelong for the last 15 to 20 years?
Selwood and Hawkins.
Exactly.
Yep.
Without
But-
them,
But
No,
Tomahawk's
they
also
didn't
like...
need him, Selwood last year.
It's not like Tomahawk's done an ACL. Like he's like carrying a bit of a slight injury.
Yeah, and he
might
said
miss
he
the
might
first
be,
2 weeks.
he said he might play round
Exactly.
one. Yeah.
So
I think that's not a
but
problem.
also it is, they were so good last year. How can you keep that up? Like, it is hard to do, like, because you had such a high and such a run in. It would be very hard mentally for some of those older players as well. Like danger.
I
All
think-
his life is like,
yeah.
I need a flag, I need a flag, I need a flag. He's got one. He's probably going to do his hammy or his calf again and miss 15 games.
This is sort of what people were saying though last year with Geelong. Oh, the list is still a bit old. They've got guys, but their young guys coming through are really good. I think even those older guys, like Danger's still going to absolutely kill it.
I wouldn't say kill it. I'd say
I think
very
he will.
serviceable.
He's a very good player. He's got now they're skipper now, so he might step up as well.
They've got 5 games against the other top 3 from last year, and they've got 11 games from the 7 in the top 8. So the draw is obviously tougher.
Yep.
I think they dip a little bit. I don't see them what they were 18-4 last year. I don't see them doing an 18-5 or 19-4 this year.
That's where you're wrong because I think they do. I think they back it up
I'm in the middle of you
100%.
two. I'm in the
Because
middle of you
GMHBA, talk about Fortress
Oh.
Gabba, Fortress GMHBA.
Don't lose
off
it.
we go.
Fremantle and the Swans beat them there, and they've got to go there and play them.
Geelong
Exactly.
had a lot of way more scoring shots against Freo. That was a very unlucky. I
Did they
reckon.
win, Stats Guy?
No, but
There
it
you
was
go.
very unlucky.
But again, what are we going to say? We're talking about
Yeah.
return to the mean.
Yeah,
They'll
law of
probably
averages,
actually
yeah.
win that one this year.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
they play Sydney there again this year, I think, right?
Yeah, Swans
a
go
huge-
down there
huge game, yeah.
in late April.
So this is it. I think they go 19-4. I've got them
Ooh,
hitting that
okay.
over pretty handily. I think this is another top 3 team for me,
Yeah.
along with Brisbane. I'm going the over. That's a green.
Yeah, I'm going 17-6. Not as big as you, but I think they will easily cover that over.
I'm winning 15 games and going the under.
Jeez.
Half game under.
Yeah.
I'll pay that.
I've got.
Where have you got them on your ladder?
Hold on, I'll check.
I feel like it's higher than.
On my ladder, I have them 3rd or 4th.
Well, 15 is probably
Yeah.
about right for fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also I had 15/16 written. And I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go with the under. Why
Sure.
not?
The over here for the over 15.5 wins for Geelong is $1.80,
Yeah.
which I love. The
Yep.
under is $1.95. Doesn't
This
feel
is
like
one.
great value.
This is
right?
one I don't want to bet into. Like
Well, it's quite high.
Geelong could
15.5,
very
yeah.
easily go 20-3, but I could see somewhere where they go 14-9.
It is the sort of weird one. Like I didn't feel great about it either, but
I feel pretty strong about it, I reckon.
I say that. And I'm
You've got
like,
Jeremy
no,
Cameron,
put it right
who's in
up there.
career best form. He's one of the best players in the
I
country.
just
Oh,
went
I'm
with
backing
the-
him for the Coleman.
Yes.
So.
So,
I went with the optimistic one. All
Oh,
right.
the ding.
that's
We
the
finally
first time
got
I've
a
had it
ding.
done.
Gold
Hurry
Coast,
up.
let's go. They went 12-10 last year. The over under this year is 10.5. Again, that's lower than what they won last year. So how do we feel about it? Ben King back. I mean, this is the
I
year.
like him, but
Yeah.
The Suns have to make a finals once. Or
as you like to do, will
we
they?
fold him. We'll fold them. That's it. Will they make it
Send
this
them
year?
to Tassie.
Yes. Can they? Also,
I mean, I threw
Nah.
in the article for them to make finals. I struggled to
um,
see them doing it though, but I don't see them. Well, no, because like, I want them. I want them
You
to
want
be
them- oh, I want
successful.
them to as well,
I
but I don't
enjoy
think they
watching
can.
Gold Coast play.
Yes.
I enjoy that they've bought into Stuart Dew.
Yep.
Ben King back is a massive in. If he's fit, firing, and healthy, he could easily have a 50-goal plus season. And there's a couple of close games that they lost last year that they can win, and that turns it into a 14-8 season. And you're like, Gold Coast, yeah. But it's just their improvement compared to teams around them as well. It's
Yeah, I don't.
I
trust
want it
them.
to happen. I think the over will happen, but I think they're like 9th or 10th.
I
They're
don't
one
trust
of those
them
teams
away.
fitting into 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
There's like 6 teams there. And as we know, Jim is no math magician, but 6 doesn't fit into 2.
it doesn't. The over, it's 10.5. They win 12 last year. The over this year is $1.75. The under's 2. I have them at
What do I have, Matt? Oh,
11.
okay.
I'm going over by a half game.
I'm going under. I don't trust them away. I think the teams around them have improved. I think in other years they could have made the finals, but I think you got like Port, Bulldogs, and a few others that I just think have better lists and going to improve a bit.
The
better.
middle of the ladder this year is quick.
It's so
right?
close.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tight. It's
Gold
tough.
Coast is right in there.
5 games against the top 4 from last year.
But yeah, I'm
That is
going under
brutal.
because I think the other teams improved.
I
That says
reckon
a
they
bit more.
clear the over. I've got them winning 12 to 13 games.
Yep. All right, nice one.
Jeez.
GWS last year 6-16. Gross season from GWS.
That was horrible.
It was
Injuries
absolutely
didn't help, but
ridiculous.
a few other things.
They stunk up the joint. 8.5 is the line this year. 3 games are going to win
Yeah.
extra on top of last year to go that over.
Is it possible for them to be worse than what they were last year?
Maybe not, but I mean they do lose
Possibly.
a couple of names.
But
Lost 2 great midfielders.
yeah, but my thing with the midfield is they had 8 legitimate midfielders that they're trying to fit into that midfield, and you don't know.
Yeah.
So you think addition by subtraction?
Exactly. I'm thinking
All right,
it's
all
not all bad for
And
them.
you just said I was no math magician.
Exactly. But Tom Green, Whitfield, and Perryman to all focus on midfield time and running through the middle
Yeah,
as well.
maybe.
Toby Green is captain. I love the choice because he's a prick and the boys will get right around him. They've finally figured out what Harry Himmelberg is, like after going forward, back, forward, back,
He's
forward. Apparently he's playing forward.
Forward,
Great,
yeah, no,
good.
he's a forward. Yeah.
Shout out to the Mater Day alum, Harry Himmelberg.
Supercoach is good back, but
and
forward.
Finn Callahan, he's going to get back as well after being injured last year, and he looks really good.
Yep.
I probably pronounced his name wrong, but his name's Finn.
Yeah,
Sure. Callaghan, Callahan, something like that.
So $1.72 for that over. So that's very, very short to go over 8.5.
I'm surprised
that's
that. Yeah.
I like it how I've just pumped them up with what I'm about to do too.
because I'm
I'm going under as well.
$2.05. I'm going under.
I'm going
That's
under.
under as well.
Like
Huge
you
call.
said about their midfield, they've got a lot of guys that could only get a couple of games last year, and I know a few people that play there. They're going to get a game this year, and they're not at AFL standard
I
at all.
don't,
So
I don't
rate
see them
GWS at
finding
all.
3 wins. I see them finding 2.
I agree. Yes, I've got them at 8.
7 or 8 games,
Yeah,
so just under.
I've got them at 8 as well.
I feel like they're moving backwards and only winning 5 games this year.
Do you reckon
Ooh.
they do the same as well? Sort of try and play a bit low, get that 3rd or 4th draft pick as well, and then try and move on a few of the other.
I think so. I think
bloated contracts
I
because
just
Maybe, yeah.
they're
Maybe.
like, it's club management. No, it's salary cap management because you screwed up your premiership window.
exactly.
Yeah, they
New coach,
absolutely did.
this sort of vibe, it just doesn't scream, oh, we're going to be much better this year. I feel like a couple more, like if they get like 1 or 2 injuries at the top of that list, pack her up, boys, Dunskies. So
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hawthorn.
Oh,
They're a happy team at Hawthorn. Not this year, according to
Yeah,
me. Last year, 8-14.
that was solid last year.
I can't believe they won 8 games.
I know.
It is chaos, isn't it? And the over-under this year is actually substantially lower. 6.5 is
Yep.
the big number up over behind
But
us.
let's be real. They went scorched earth in the off season.
They did.
Like Jaeger, Tom Mitchell, Dylan
I
Shield.
like that he
He's
just said,
made-
let's be real. He's like he's like the teacher. He's just turned his chair around.
and
Let's rap, guys.
I need to
all right
put
there.
that
Let's be real.
backwards.
Teach it, Donnelly.
But they've got rid of.
Let me talk to them in their own language. Let's be real here.
But yeah, and also Jack Gunston. It's like they've got rid of like what was it like? That's like 500 games of experience.
Yep.
And they've bought in Carl Amon.
Yeah.
Like
I
awesome.
like Alamo,
And
but he's
Lloyd
not
Meek.
going to.
Well, you got to feel pretty optimistic to go the over 6.5. It's actually wildly short again. The $1.72. The under is $2.05.
what's with the overs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also apparently the number 1 draft pick this year would have got, or who's going to be number 1 at the end of the season would have been number 1 in the most recent draft. He's apparently
Leo's
Lance
happy
Franklin,
to,
Isaac
tank this
Heaney,
year.
Gary Ablett, Chris Judd, and Wayne Carey combined.
Oh,
That's according to Social Guy Leo.
So he's Stephen Kernahan.
Yeah.
What?
Send your hate tweets to Leo at Coca.
Sorry, Stephen Silvani. That also checks out.
Are we saying that Hawthorn are full tanking this year?
100%.
I think
A
we're all
list building season, shall we say?
So Sam Mitchell coaching this team, I think this is the one where they go, we overperformed a little bit last year. This is the real.
This is the let's get
this
some
sucks.
Yeah.
games into the kids. Figure out the system.
Agreed.
It's
But
under.
This is
We're going under.
This is an
Bit like
absolute
North's
lock for
team
me.
last year.
I also my second lock 2-21. I've got Hawthorn going.
Yeah.
Absolute
Oh, that's the same as mine. as well.
horrible year.
I have them going 3-20.
I also had him as a lock just because you get $2.05.
Look at that. We're
yeah.
all locking Hawthorn
Yeah.
unders.
Yeah. They might.
Watch
they
them
might.
go
Yeah. Watch
over
them.
and win
Watch
like
them win
9,
the
so.
first 3 games and we're just like, oh God.
But yeah,
Made a
that's our
horrible
lock.
mistake.
But also they've got 11 games against the top 8 from last
That's
year.
it. It's
That,
weird.
that's
hard.
0 and 11
It's
straight
because I
away.
got 8 wins. They finished in that weird area of
They're going to play
not
they're going to
towards
play
the
the
bottom.
D's and Fremantle twice. That's unfortunate.
Their
that's
key
tough.
games, they're like they've got like North Melbourne, like the
Yeah,
games
they'll
against,
win
like,
at
North,
least one against us, I think.
like those are the weird key
GWS
ones for
they
those
could beat.
dudes, but
Yeah.
tough scenes. So everybody's going under for Hawthorn. Melbourne. Oh, I love my Damons. 16-6
Yep.
last year, second on the ladder.
And then
they just crumbled,
in
yeah.
the final.
Yeah.
straight sets, baby.
This year, 14.5 is the over-under at the line, which is
Probably-
feels really right.
I reckon that's
This
spot
is
on.
a team that did start
Right.
10-0 last year, and then Stephen May decided to punch a teammate, and the wheels fell off.
Yep.
Yet they still
yeah, I
managed
forgot
to
about that.
finish 16-6.
Pretty good.
So it's not like they were terrible.
No. Well,
And-
second is not
but-
terrible.
But everyone was like all
Oh, you
doom and gloom about them
After the finals, yeah.
But it's also like Max and Brody.
Yeah.
They look pretty good.
And all their stars are still very young. It's not like they're like on the
They're
way
not
out.
aging
Yeah.
out.
You got
That's-
Oliver and Petrarca who could lead them for the next 5 years at least.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Max is going to rest at full forward, and he'll have 7 shots a game and kick 2, 5, or 3, 4. But the thing is, marking up against him is one of the hardest things
I
to
know,
do.
he's got the reach.
And
When you got Ben Brown sort of cycling in and out of the team as well without his long flowing
I know,
voice
you might be able to
anymore.
see now.
shout
yeah.
out to Ben Brown raising all that coin
That was
too.
awesome.
That was awesome, yeah.
But this is a crazy one. So the 14.5, when I looked at all the numbers for the over-unders, this
Yeah.
one I'm like, oh, that's probably the toughest.
Mine was Geelong.
You're
I
killing
reckon
me.
they easily.
$1.88 for both ways for the over and
Yep.
the under. Nicely split for us. What do we got?
Well, they
'Cause
got double ups against North and Hawthorn, so there's 4 wins straight away. So you're going to find another 11.
Yeah, they love beating us.
I've got them 17-6, I think it was.
Yep.
So I think they go
16-7, yeah.
I got to go with stats guy here because I think they're still young. They're still really good.
I'm 17
They're going to be
as
up
well.
there. No, even if they don't win the premiership, they're going to be up there in the top 4 for the next, I reckon, 3 years
17,
at least.
17-6 and second yet again.
I think this is the last year was the blip where we go, wait, what just happened in the finals? Then they turn around and go absolute scorched earth. Like,
Absolutely.
So what I just say, 17-6, I could easily see them 18-5 as well, maybe higher. Like I think
they were pretty
just
good away
really
last
good,
year
so.
as well. Like you said, they beat Brisbane at the Gabba, which is very, very hard to do.
The first 3 games also, it's kind of pivotal. Like, they got the Dogs in round 1, which they should just get the job done there. But then it's Brisbane and Sydney. So they could be 1-2, 2-1, 3-0. Like, I don't see them being 0-3.
No.
But you'd almost say, looking at, they'll cop 2-1 after the first 3 rounds.
But they'll take that against some of the top teams, yeah.
Right. North Melbourne.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, geez.
Stats guy,
Stats guy just started crying.
Question.
We got rid of-
How do you find 5 more wins? Like, why?
No, that's what I was saying.
Did
This
Alistair
to my
Clarkson
family the
have
other
him in
day.
his back pocket when he came over? Or
Yeah,
not?
like,
It's
is this-
hey guys, here's 5 wins that I kept. From
Like,
Hawthorn.
is that literally why it's there?
No.
Because Al Clarkson 5 wins.
I genuinely think that's the only reason. There's all that social media hype of Clarko. And
6.5 is this over?
6.5 is ridiculous.
How
You were
on
2-20
earth?
last
2-20.
year.
2-20.
I'm
How do they
agreeing with
win
you. It's
5
like
more?
you're arguing with
What are you doing, Liam? Jeez.
No, I think
Explain yourself, sir.
I think we'll definitely get a couple more wins. We've got Griffin Logue, who helps out our backline. We've got Ben Mackay down there, who was just trying to play on 2 or 3 people at times. So I love
Griffin
that.
Logue as
Griffin
well.
Logue is a really good player.
Ben, not Harry McCarthy.
Yeah,
Love
never
it.
seen in the same place twice.
No,
those
they
two.
still haven't played against each other in every
But
year.
you've got 5 games against the top 4.
Yeah,
got
it's
9
not the
against the
easiest
top
fixture
8.
either, yeah.
Their best chance of the happiness throughout the season comes in 10 days' time.
Yes,
Round 1
round
against
1.
West
If we
Coast
get
at home.
Round 1 win. I can't remember the last
I
time
swear
we
to
had a round 1
God,
win.
every North Melbourne fan should be there going off their absolute lead. Round 1 of Clarko, Ben Cunnington full on
He's
back
back,
after
yeah.
he did come back late
That's a
last
big
year.
in as well,
But
yeah.
full on back as well. You've got rid of the Jason Horn-Francis, Kane Corn's
Yeah.
new best friend, but you've got rid of him.
I've never seen anybody look so good.
Yeah. Oh, what do you
Kane,
mean you take
weird,
it?
big-headed, tiny-eyed jerk.
Uh,
Look, seriously, he's got the biggest head in the AFL and the tiniest set of eyes. Just look at him and go, I could never unsee
So
that.
while I
Jeez.
think
It's like someone just plastered a couple
Still
of
going.
those googly
Yeah, it's all right.
eyes
It's fine.
to like a giant beanbag. Just like 2 in the middle and the beanbag all the way around.
I
it.
agree.
It's unbelievable.
I agree. But yeah, I don't mind us to win a couple more games. Like that 6.5 is way
Clarko
too
will
much,
have
so.
them absolutely pumped for round 1. Like,
I agree.
this should be like
It's
every
brick
North
wall
Melbourne
stuff,
fan should
brick
go.
wall
There,
stuff.
there should be 30,000 people at the Dome.
I'd be happy with that.
Every single North Melbourne.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know,
literally.
I know.
Everyone should go
Because
because
some West Coast, but
like you got to get out there and support. Like
I'll be there.
the crowd noise for them should be immeasurable. Just get around them, go nuts. I want North Melbourne to win in round
Yeah.
1.
I'm still
because this story is great. I want North Melbourne to not suck.
6.5 though.
No, not happening.
Under.
This is a
Oh,
lock.
we're gonna have an exciting.
This,
we're gonna
this is
exciting
also
year,
a
I
lock.
think.
Absolute certain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 6.5 should be a lock as
I
well.
just don't want to
ran
lock it
out-
'cause
I
it's
ran
my
out of
team,
locks. So
Yeah, I've got them 3-20 or 4-19.
I
I
have
got
them-
4 and 9.
I've got 3-20. So
I think we've got a
I
solid
re-
midfield that can. Win
I
us a
reckon
few
you
games.
could. I reckon you'll beat Hawthorn once. You'll beat West Coast, and then you somehow you beat Essendon or
yeah,
something.
Essendon
I
is like
really-
one that stuck out on
Well,
the,
as Leo and I agree, the only game I want to win all year is just beating Essendon. I hate
yeah,
this.
on the schedule. It's just like it's there.
Yeah.
It's just staring at
Yeah,
you.
but they always beat
We're
us.
gonna beat 'em.
Or,
we
or
don't
just
beat
some
them.
random win against like St Kilda or something.
Nice. All right, Port Adelaide.
Oh.
Let's go. Jeez,
This
this
is a
one
tough
sucks.
one as well.
This
yeah.
one, yeah.
It was basically, there's a few tough ones. This is one of the tough ones. I had to write about this one for the site. 10 and 12 last year. They miss the finals after being, second on the ladder
Yep.
the prior
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
Yep.
And the year before that, they were in top 4 as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, with COVID year they
they
choked
were
against
first,
Richmond in the prelim.
$1.88 both ways. The over under the number is 12.5.
Probably bang on.
It is horrifyingly perfect, this one.
This is a team that in 2021 won 17 games.
Yep.
Like they went -7 last year.
Yep.
They had a lot of injury problems last year as well. I was looking at, you had Charlie Dixon out, you had Rosie was out for a bit, Butters. You got a
That's
lot of
because
players.
Butters tries to kill himself
I know,
in
he
every
does.
contest.
He's a
that
bit
bloke
too
needs some
courageous.
headgear, some shoulder pads, and a couple of mouth guards.
Two key things for them this year, Rosie and Butters.
Yes.
100%.
What about Georgiades?
Georgiades is fine. Rosie and Butters.
Actually, and Dersma. I love
Georgiades
Dersma.
is playing for a fat contract, so I reckon he'll leave at the end of the year.
JHF as well, obviously. Horn Francis,
Stuff
your
him.
best mate.
Stuff
What
him.
about Junior Rioli just
Hope he gets
sneaking
injured.
around the bottom of the packs there in the forward line as well? The new Eddie Betts pocket could be the Junior Rioli pocket.
Yeah,
Don't mind that.
I like that.
I think Port will be better this year, slightly better. But this is the thing. They're the sort of one of the victims of this mid-table crush.
Yes.
Where
They
they're
do
not
get the
quite-
extra game at home this year.
not quite good enough to like run over the top of some teams that are better than them. They should beat most of the teams below them.
Yep.
But again, I just think it's really tough for them to beat like a team like Melbourne,
So we've
to
no.
beat Sydney, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
in 2021
Agreed.
they went 5-0 in games that were decided by less than 15 points. Last year they were 2-7.
Yeah.
So this has got again that was resorting to the mean last year, and again you think that's got to do the same again. So they're probably going to go 5-4, 4-5
Yeah.
if that happens.
I reckon Porter, like last year, Carlton, how they got off to a really good start. They were very, very unlucky not to make finals, obviously, and I think Port they've got them in ninth. So I think they'll be very unlucky. In every other year they could, but it's such a tight year with that. You got Collingwood, Freo, Bulldogs, all that area is just really tight at the moment. So
It
could
was
be a bit
funny.
unlucky.
We were all playing around with some ladders yesterday with our own stuff that we've done, plus a ladder predictor, and every one of us had Port Adelaide 9th.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah.
really funny. Like Ladbrokes, hi, Nick Quinn, can you please give us a market on
ninth.
Port Adelaide finishing 9th?
But Port, like so
Richmond's usual
I
spot.
think
Yeah.
the big thing for me was the start of their season, right? They go Brisbane, even though that's at home, but you
Yeah.
just look at that.
Brisbane
Brisbane-
are absolute certainty
tough,
round
right?
one.
Brisbane, Collingwood, Adelaide. That's like,
That would
they
beat
love a
Adelaide,
derby.
yeah.
But
Yep.
then Sydney, the Western Bulldogs, then West Coast. They've got like a nice little mid part where they play West Coast and Kilda, Essendon, North. And
They could
then-
win all of those. Yeah.
Then it rips off a Melbourne, like
Yeah.
Richmond sort of thing. Their entire schedule sort of just hits these sort of peaks and troughs. And I just find it really hard to see them going past 12. So I'm going under.
I'm going under as well. I have
Oh.
them winning 11 or 12 games, and Ken Hinkley leaves at the end of the
I'm
year.
actually going against you guys. I'm going the over.
Oh.
I'm going 13. I think it's a
So
really,
you've got them winning 13 games and missing,
and missing
the
out.
finals.
Like we did on the ladder predictor. I think it's gonna
Hey,
be-
shush.
Oh,
Richmond.
Shut up, Sky.
Damn.
13,
That's
8,
still
1
going.
last year. Let's do it. This year it's 13.5. $1.75 for the over. That has been pummeled very clearly. So
yeah, how do they not win that extra game?
I don't get
one
how
more
they
game.
can they change
there's
that.
an extra game this season. Did they not win it?
Yeah,
one
exactly.
more than last year.
Oh, they
One
easily
more.
can.
Consider the draw. They should have won that. They should have beat the Swans. They should have beat North Melbourne.
We were too good.
Shut up, stuff. There's 3 wins there straight away. So you have them at 16 wins last year with just any normal semblance of a season.
So they start off with 3 games against the top 4 in their first 6 games.
how hot is that start though?
But they have Carlton, Adelaide to begin.
Yeah.
I think they win both.
They can win both of
those.
those. They always win round one.
They should beat the Bulldogs as well. And
Yep.
then they have Gold Coast, West Coast, Geelong,
Win.
Jeez, this is an
Essendon,
easy
Port.
fix.
So they should be 5-0 to start.
It feels like the start of their season, they should be absolutely rolling. And then the end of their season is the one
It's
that got
Oh
me.
yeah.
They can still win.
No,
it.
the end of the season I love because they go, I think it was West Coast, Hawthorn, Melbourne, Dogs and Kilda, Port. And they just smoke everybody.
So they get to
Run
fly
through
into
it.
the season.
They
Yeah,
fly
righto.
into
Right.
the finals and away they go.
So-
It is Richmond. They'll probably blow one of those obvious ones at some point. but
Toronto and Hopper come in.
Oh, that's
Dust-
exactly what they were missing. Yeah,
Dusty's fit and he's going to play major forward this year, basically on
which
a
will be
half-forward
exciting.
flank.
It'll be good to watch.
Does Shea Bolton elevate to what everyone thinks he is, which I think is very overhyped and
Oh,
not
I
as
think
good as
he
what
can.
people
the
think
think he is?
AFL's most punchable man.
I think
There we go.
I think he can have a big year. He was showing sign. He doesn't. He's not your consistent every single week, but he will have more those big games than last year. I think because they've got a better team,
Yeah.
more chances on goal. And
I
things
think,
like
yeah, they've just smashed their premiership window back open after looking
Rewalt
gone.
comes back for one more year, basically.
Yeah,
Trent
Lynch
Cotchin
is in
back for one
form.
more
You
year.
got
Lynch
Lynch.
has got
You still got
confidence.
Cochin. I think this team is an absolute juggernaut. Just right in
Agreed.
front of everybody. They stay healthy this year.
Yeah.
They smash through this over. What is it? 13 and a
4
half?
and a half. Yeah.
Over.
Lock.
We're all going
Over.
Oh, bang.
Lock.
Oh, you've copied my lock. Actually, I'm going that as well.
So what have you got them winning?
16 and 7.
I'm
I've got
going
them
15
going
and 8.
top 4.
Yeah,
15
15 and
and
8 for
8.
top 4 as well.
15 and 8.
I love this Richmond
16
team
and
this
7
year.
actually,
So, look, shall they play Carlton in round 1? They'll go back to their winning ways and smash us. And
Yeah, I don't think they'll smash it, but
no,
I
that'd
think
be
they'll
good.
win. I think they'll win.
Carlton need that. I'll tell you that much.
Just-
We got 2 up and
They
about
need it.
last
You need to
year.
get flogged?
We
Yeah, last
beat them
year-
last year. It was like, we're going to win the flag. And it's like, no.
Weren't you
Temper
like
that down.
5-1 after 6 rounds or
Where's
something?
the fire?
More,
It's
I
like,
think,
jeez. So I want Richmond to beat the Blues in round 1 and then, just go in with like lower expectations.
I don't mind that.
But Richmond, I think they're awesome this year. So that's my
Yeah,
third
we all
lock.
love Richmond.
So your
yeah.
locks.
Nice one. St Kilda, 11-11 last year, 10th.
We all just
So they were 5 and 6 at home last year, 6 and 5 away.
And even the bookies are just like, I don't know, 11-11. What's their over on it?
11. Because
Yeah,
you don't know what
literally.
you're going to get.
11.5.
Every season, you don't know what
So
you're
yeah,
going to
the over-under is 10.5 this year with the extra game. You got Ross Lyon.
He's back.
He's
The
like,
boss.
oh, we're going to play an attacking game. It's like,
Ross has never played.
but you're Ross Lyon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't attack.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I don't think
Hang
they
on.
will. I feel
Something
like
does not compute.
Their list isn't good, I'm going to be honest. I don't rate their list at
I
all.
like that you're honest.
They've been hit with the injury bug already.
I know,
Like,
Max King.
King,
he is such a good
Billings
forward.
out. King's the biggest one of them all.
Yeah.
They're still St Kilda.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
that's basically my point.
Going
Like,
for them must be honestly torture because it's like
it's
you've-
sadomasochism.
At least with
like,
North,
writ
I know what I'm
large,
going to get.
100%.
But you don't know what you're going to get.
You
with
know
Saints.
that you're going to suck.
I know,
but there's a glimmer of hope there.
Yes.
Whereas St Kilda, it's like, well, no.
No, they might even have a decent year, but you know
Like,
they're going to drop off.
So I broke down St Kilda, right? And this
Yeah.
was the entire thing for the site.
Saints
They
fans are not
get
on
off to an absolute flyer, and it's going to be hilarious because people will be up and about. It's like,
got
oh,
an easy fixture
how
to
did they
stay
just
in.
beat Freo? Oh, they just beat the Dogs at St Kilda's. Yeah, they beat Essendon. They beat Gold Coast. Then they play Collingwood. Then they play Carlton. Then they play Port.
Oh, loss.
Then they play North. But then
Go on, North.
there's an amazing
Yeah, no,
run
we're not
late. After their bye, they play Sydney, Richmond,
Go on.
Brisbane,
0-3.
West Coast, Melbourne, Gold Coast. Then they beat North. Maybe
He's
they beat
very roller
Hawthorn.
coaster, yeah.
Carlton, Richmond, Geelong, Brisbane.
Oh yeah, that's
That
good.
is a death spiral.
So that could
at
be
the end
But
of the
also,
season.
Yeah, decent.
when Ross Lyon went to Fremantle, it took Fremantle dead set half
It
the
did.
year to click into
Yeah.
gear with what Ross wanted to play. They had a way better list. He had Pav. He had Fife.
Yeah.
Where's the Pav
They
and
don't have
Fife?
a Pav and
No,
Fife.
Yeah,
they-
bring back the Pav maybe for him.
Geez, he'd still rock
Bring
and
back
roll.
Fraser Gehry.
Oh, the G train.
Yes, the G train.
Everyone fire up a Spider and the G Train. That's all I want.
If I had a
How is that not a podcast?
Yeah.
Spider and the G Train.
Yeah, because Spider's living up on the Gold
Missing a
Coast
trick.
on Triple M radio.
Love it. All right. What do you
G-Train
got?
just
I'm
got-
going under.
Massively under. I've got
Not massive under, but under.
I've got them going 7-16.
Tough. I've got 9 and 14.
I got
so that's
9
still
and
the
14
under.
as well because I think they're in that middle-y sort of spot.
I think, as I said, they get off to a bit of a nice start, but then it all falls apart in hilarious fashion. And,
Agreed.
Away they
Yeah.
go. Next up,
We're getting there.
actually, in terms of the pricing for that, the over is actually $2 for St Kilda. So,
I would not be taking the under.
yeah, I wouldn't take that
Under's
over.
one of the.
Under's
If I could have a
$1.77.
fourth lock, it's the under.
Nice.
There's a reason there for the under being $1.77. Alex,
Oh,
your beloved Sydney Swans, 16 and 6 last year, losers in the grand final. They got absolutely shellackmerated.
We didn't turn up. Did Buddy Franklin get off the plane?
I don't think so.
They did about as much in the grand final as I did. I
They did as much as
smashed a million
Meatloaf.
tins and sat
That's
around.
harsh.
Their performance was up there with Meatloaf. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
I'd rather watch Sydney than
Slow
Meatloaf.
down.
Except for-
R.I.P. Meatloaf,
Yeah.
first of all.
Except for Chad Warner, he was Robbie Williams good.
Good old Chundley. Chundley Warner's not going to win you that many games this year, though. What is it? It's 13 and a half.
Which has dropped off a bit.
That's dropped off.
I think
they
it's
was
fair. I think
they
Two and a
won
half lower than
16
last year.
games last year.
They were awesome.
How do they go backwards?
I actually love this
I got
over.
'em.
$1.95.
Yeah, just.
$1.80 is the under. 13 and a half. Alex, talk us through Sydney.
I don't see them going backwards because you've won 16 games when people are, oh, you probably sneak into the 8. And then we just got on this fantastic run with the new game style that Longmire's implemented. But it's like those kids have had another year into
Got
them.
a great young
Like
list, yeah.
Chad Warner's going to elevate again.
Chundley.
Errol Goulden last week. I know it's a practice match.
45 and
But
3
if you have
goals.
45 and 3 in a
You're pretty
practice
good,
match,
yeah.
you're in for a good season.
Yeah.
Isaac Heaney, McDonald will step up. I think Buddy Franklin will be Clark Keating this season and he'll just play 15 to 16 games. So it's getting more games into that. Sam Reid the same. The only worry for me for the Swans is their ruck setup. Laddams needs to elevate because Tom Hickey's already injured.
I think he's
isn't
Adams can do a
great.
good job, yeah.
But I don't see the Swans losing 4 more games than last year.
Not
Agreed.
a chance. I love this
I agree.
midfield. I love
Yeah.
this midfield. I love that they have just
Forward
so
line
many
is good.
midfielders. Midfielders who kick goals.
I haven't even
It's
mentioned
like
Callum
goal.
Mills or McInerney.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You got so much depth, yeah.
Yeah.
Loaded team.
Yeah,
Loaded
nah.
team. So
This
easy
is
one
a
for
ma-
me.
this is over.
I'm just over with 14 just because I think the other teams around them have improved a little bit more with recruits, but yeah, still going
I've
to be
got
over.
the Swans winning 16 games yet.
Oh, I
I've
did
got-
that the wrong way.
I've got
Over.
16 and 7 as well. Over. So the thing is, they also get off to a flyer. They've got Gold Coast Hawthorn to open up. It's
Yeah.
like just on a platter just to go
Yeah.
right.
But
bang.
Gold Coast last couple of times have this weird record of beating the Swans, so that's a danger game. Because
It's probably because of that
actually-
horrible uniform matchup. Just
Yeah.
that Sydney
that-
red and white versus
against the
that
blue and yellow.
weird
Yeah, the blue
mix
one.
that they roll
That
out.
blue
Yeah.
Gold Coast
Nah.
one's weird, yeah.
That's like, I reckon Sydney get out there and go, I feel sick watching this, trying to kick it
I
to
was
my
like, where's he
team.
going?
Oh, what is happening here?
Yeah.
It's gross. But yeah, after they then play Adelaide, Melbourne, they've got Port, Richmond, Geelong, tough.
Very
But then
tough.
GWS,
So we beat
Collingwood,
Port.
Freo, North.
The
off they
Richmond
go.
game's in Adelaide too,
Yeah.
so that's
Sydney
neutral territory.
have that depth. They can just split those hard games.
I think we've beat Richmond the last 3 times we play them. Take out that grand final against Geelong, we beat them the previous 3 as well. So
Still
So
really
that
love
was it.
love Sydney because they've also got a run right towards the end of the season where they play Essendon, GWS, Gold Coast, and
Yeah.
Adelaide.
it's a
Pack her up,
great
boys.
run in.
That
Nice.
over is hitting.
Agreed.
So that's $1.95 for that over.
Yeah,
I
I'm real
love that.
I'm real
why
keen
is
on
that
that.
Absolutely
so-
love
Yeah,
it.
that's good value.
It's a great price.
Yeah, they're just probably taking a risk against, you get smashed in the grand final. It's like, it's a bunch of young kids who probably weren't ready for it. Like, Geelong would have smashed whoever they played.
And ding, West Coast. Let's go. 2-20 last year. This was the explosion team. There's always one.
COVID.
Everybody
nothing.
has like 1 year where like every season has one team where it's like massively underperformed.
We had 2 last year, GWS as well.
We also had GWS, true. West Coast though, 2-20, 17th on the ladder.
But hold on. Where do they find another 7 wins?
Yeah, I
so the
agree.
6 and so
What?
8.5 is
Yeah.
this over under. This is chaos.
It is. They
Absolute
were
chaos.
very unlucky with COVID and injuries last year. Like when we played,
Yeah, but they
had
still
they had 9 debutants when we played.
Let's
last year,
also
so
remember-
they're not going to be that bad this year. But
West
that's
Coast
a
beat
ridiculous-
Collingwood last year.
That was the most random game.
That
ever.
was
the most
hilarious.
random
Yeah.
That was funny.
And Carlton could not beat
Yeah.
Collingwood.
So, but the thing is, they're going to be fitter. They can't be as bad.
They also start off against North and GWS.
They're going to lose the first game. They're losing to North
you keep
Melbourne
talking.
round
I'm
one.
not confident at all. But
And then they have
I
a
hope so, I
derby.
hope so.
They've got a derby against
Lose.
Freo.
I
They'll
think
lose, yeah, against
I think I have West Coast on my ladder. I had them 1-10 after 11 rounds.
But I think this West Coast thing, as I said earlier, right, they've got a strange list where it's like a bunch of veterans,
Yeah.
nothing in between, and then a bunch of young dudes. Like, it's very strange.
Yeah,
it's
I
one of
don't-
the strangest lists in the AFL this year. Like,
They got a lot
you've
of
still
young
got
guys.
like guns. Like, you've got Gaff,
Yep.
you've got Shuey, you've got Yo. Like,
McGovern.
you got dudes like this.
Yeah, but
But there's just
McGovern,
no
ever
one
since
below
he got
them.
the fat contract, has gotten fat.
There you go.
I mean, shots fired.
He's probably good nick if he's playing AFL.
But 8.5, this one's an easy one for me.
Yeah, I agree. That's ridiculous.
Under.
That
Easy
could have been
under.
my other lock.
$2.05 obviously for the over. It's like
Under.
they've realised, 8.5 is a bit
We've
high.
stuffed this up. Well,
Jeez.
why can't they recalibrate it to 6.5?
Yeah, that's what
should
I
be
was thinking. They
6.5.
should recalibrate a few of these. Yeah.
I've got them
6.5, you'd actually sort of think about it because, as I said, with some of those early ones where you got North, GWS,
They could
they play
win
North
them
twice.
easy,
They
yeah.
play Essendon a couple of times as well. Like they've got a strange, weird mix of a fixture. Obviously, they went 2-20 last year, so it's going to be pretty easy. So there is scope for them to win,
But
six-ish,
not 9 games.
But to not,
No.
you can't win 9 after winning 2.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
can't see that turn.
Oh, yeah, but let's also remember
Collingwood
Collingwood
last
won
year.
4 or 6 games and then all of a sudden win 16. But
Just
Their
a bit
young
tougher.
talent is a lot better though.
exactly,
Yeah.
they had the list.
Eagles young talent, a lot of
and
no
also
names.
new coach coming in, new mindset. Let the boys play, bit of freedom, bit of
Let the
happiness.
boys play.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I pay that. So we've all gone the unders.
I've
Yeah.
got them winning 4 games.
Right.
I'm the same.
I've got them at what did I come
What
at?
have I got them at? Oh, 6
I got
games
them. I
I've
got
got.
them at 6 and
I've got
17.
them 6 as well.
I got them
actually,
at 4 and 9.
But that's why I wanted that 6.5 line because that made a lot.
The
more
under
sense.
would have been a bit more
Yeah.
value.
A lot more tasty. All right, last one. 18 teams.
We
Unbelievable.
almost got through them all. But yeah.
Western Bulldogs. They went 12-10 last year. Sneak into the finals, courtesy of my beloved Carlton. Absolutely crapping the bed. 2023 over under is 12.5. That's a half game more than they won last year.
Well, you get
One
an extra
extra game
game.
to
You get an
play.
extra game, so that's probably why that's
The over is $1.85. The under is $1.80. So this is everybody's going, I don't know.
They are the
I love it.
hardest team to predict this year. I think
No.
they've got so many good players, but I'm still back.
I don't rate them. I do not rate them at all.
Their backline's very poor, as you have.
And
pointed
Liam
out.
Jones has come in. Well, he still missed a year of AFL football, and it's like, okay, one backman doesn't make up for all the deficiencies you have.
Agreed.
Especially having watched a bunch of Liam Jones, he's not going to like
Yeah,
He's
salve
good player.
your
When he was at
wounds.
Carlton, he was very good. I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
I-
moments.
I do rate him.
Moments,
Wait,
but geez.
You've also lost Dunkley.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Rory Lobb's come in. He kicked 36 goals
Yeah, he's not-
last
he's
year.
not amazing.
He's not saving a lot. The only thing,
He's got this
He
in his
hates
back
Rory
pocket.
Lobb.
36. He's like, 36 goals is all he kicked.
but it's not.
too
But it's,
bad.
he only kicked 36.
but it's not something
Settle
you
down,
expect of a
Alex.
dominant
How
forward
many
in your
goals
team.
did you kick last year?
117.
0.
35.
27.
But it's all. The only thing it means is it means Ugle-Hagen will get the third defender now instead of the second defender.
and
But it's-
Ugle-Hagen might tear up that.
Oh, I
third.
think he could
but
have
then
a
it's
big
also
year,
like
yeah.
Aaron Norton is another one
He's a
like
good player.
Butters. He
Yeah.
may kill himself going into a contest the way that he
Just
We
throws
should have
himself.
all worn headbands just in honor of Aaron Norton.
I love his hair
I
and his
do.
headbands.
I hate the Western Bulldogs so
Apparently.
much.
What
You
is
just hate
going
him
on?
because
That's
they beat him in
weird.
the grand final.
No, but I also didn't like them before that.
I don't know.
Sure.
I didn't know you there.
But it's also like Bont needs to go.
Cool story, bro.
Bont also needs to go massive. If he gets injured, they're in a lot of trouble. They snuck into the finals last year, and their list is sort of again nowhere at the moment.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to be like, oh, we're going to make finals and bring this in, but
Yeah.
it's like
So the game they lost to Carlton last year at
Would have been a Marvel, wouldn't it?
Marvel.
Yeah.
It was like just sort of indicative. Like Carlton just sort of held them at bay.
Yeah.
And they just lack that sort of real killer over
They
the
rely
top.
on Bont a lot too much.
And they just never got close. So they open against Melbourne. That is brutal.
They're going to get smashed.
The key one is that St Kilda game in round 2. If they lose that, it is pack up, boys, and I have St Kilda winning that one.
Or I think Dogs.
So I think it's Melbourne, St Kilda, then Brisbane, then Richmond, then Port, then Freo. I
They're in
have the
trouble.
Dogs starting 0-6.
Whoa, wow.
So-
Also, like I said before about the teams around them, I think Port have a better list this season.
Yep.
I think Carlton are going to take that top in the 8 spot in the 8. So yeah, I think Bulldogs have to drop off.
This is the squeeze, right?
Yeah.
And they're one of the absolute victims
That'd be a
of
bit
it.
stiff, but yeah.
Under.
It's an under.
Under.
So with that actual number,
I got them winning 11 games.
yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
I'm the same.
12 and a
11 or
half.
12,
I've got
I
them
think.
at 10.
Max 12, I'm thinking, but
And
probably 11.
having broken down their schedule, it just has like some pretty big pits and troughs. They don't seem to have any easy runs,
No.
Okay.
and it's going to be brutal, I think. So the over is $1.85, the under is $1.80. We've all gone the under.
Yeah. They're a team that
Boom.
if they get 1 or 2 injuries to Bontempelli or Darcy, they're gone.
15.
Love it. Right, that's it. All 18 teams.
How did we do that? That was
unbelievable. What an
Over
absolute
our ladders.
cracker show. In terms of the ladder predictions, I mean, I've got my actual ladder is going to go Geelong,
Yep.
Brisbane, Melbourne, Richmond, Sydney, Collingwood,
Well,
Carlton,
this is
Freo
almost
is your 8.
exactly the same as mine.
And then Port, Gold Coast just missed out in 9-10. Western Bulldogs 11, Essendon 12, St Kilda 13, Adelaide 14, West Coast 15, GWS North and Hawthorn rounding it out 16, 17, 18. What have you got there, Alex?
Yeah, so I've got Brisbane as your minor premiers from Melbourne, Geelong, Sydney, Richmond or Freo. They can swap around. Collingwood, Carlton finishing 8th. Port Adelaide 9, Gold Coast, the Dogs, GWS Adelaide, St Kilda, Essendon, North Melbourne, West Coast, and Hawthorn.
not last.
So North and West Coast both on 3 or 4 wins.
It's all pretty
but
similar to
Hawthorn
mine
last,
as well.
yeah.
If we finish 15th, that's a big win. That's a big win.
Stats guy, I've got you 16th.
Oh, 16th. I'll take
Well
that.
counted.
I'll take 16th as well. So,
What's your ladder there, stats guy?
Yeah, similar to yours, Jay. I got the same top 8, but a bit of a different order. I got Geelong, Brisbane, Melbourne, Richmond for the top 4.
That's the exact same as
We've
mine.
all got the same top 8, don't we?
Yeah, Sydney, Carlton, Freo, Collingwood. I think, Freo drop off a bit. Carlton top 6, I think is almost a
Okay.
lock. Then I got Port just missing out. Bulldogs just missing out. Then the rest I think are just going to have horrible years. Essendon, Gold Coast, Saints, Adelaide, GWS, West Coast, North, and Hawthorn.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
My ladder really drops off after GWS in 13th and then Essendon just...
Yeah, agreed.
Nice. There you go. The mega AFL preview over-unders. That was awesome. Next year, we're just going to blow this out. It's going to be 2 hours. It's going to be awesome.
Joe won't want that.
Poor Gerald just sweating bullets as it's all
15
going on.
minutes,
In
13.
fairness, we only had, 3 dings?
Exactly.
Yeah, we did
Nice
pretty
one.
well. We did pretty well.
We'll be back on deck tomorrow with a whole mess of stuff. We'll probably have an EPL show for the week ahead. We'll have an NRL show. We'll have
After chaos in the EPL last week.
I know.
gonna be awesome.
It's chaos every week.
Chelsea are winning games. How good?
2 in a row.
what just happened. Subscribe on your podcast app to CoBet Daily. We might even have an EPL feed that has all of its own as of next week.
nice.
Keep an eye out for that too. Like, review, and star it. And check us a follow for the socials. Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok. Go watch, what did you get up to yesterday? You were cooking some lunch.
He grilled the banana.
It was good.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
Forgot about that.
Very strange.
Terrible start.
Right. That's it. Send any questions via the socials. Leo will pass them on. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Great job. Alex,
Can't wait. Footy.
what do you do now?
Footy.
You've just had the highest of highs. You're now going to hit the lowest of
No,
lows.
I've got to rip into 10 races of form from Rosehill this Saturday.
Tremendous.
Nice.
All right. Thanks to Gerald for producing. Thanks to Leo for doing some extra work as
On
well,
you, the
helping us today.
The PowerPoint.
He did the screen behind us. Amazing work. What do we say? Here's Stats Guy.
Gamble responsibly.
May your picks come in. Have a great AFL season. How good was that setup? I loved it.
That was fun.
Awesome.
Happy punting. We'll catch you in a bit. CoBet Daily. Out.